Hey guys, Simon Bryson here, and during the pandemic, I made a little bit over $10,000 in the stock market, okay? But by the way, you don't need a ton of money to make some money in the stock market because I literally started back in 2018, December, with around $7.60 in an app called Acorns. You don't really need a ton of money to make any money in the stock market. And by the way, I used two strategies to make the bulk of my money. Strategy A was investing into a low risk portfolio, and strategy B was literally picking one stock that made me the bulk of my money, which I will tell you in this video, and I'll tell you exactly what I invest into also. By the way, I post videos on this channel every single day, so make sure to also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And on top of that, also destroying the like button. Now, before I tell you guys exactly how I made $10,000, I just want to tell you guys one thing. Although I invest into a low risk portfolio, and on top of that, I only really picked one stock to make me the bulk of my money, I am still looking for other stocks. But in reality, when it comes to investing, you don't need to pick 100 stocks. All you really need to do is focus down and pick maybe like 5 to 10 to 20 stocks, and that way you're good to go. And that's not my opinion. That's what Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger says, and they are both billionaires, okay? So that's their opinion, so that's what I look forward to. And I'm not out there chasing like 100 or 200 stocks, no. I'm just looking for quality stocks to invest into, which I will tell you guys in this video. Now, to break down my entire $10,000 profit, I'm gonna break down all my portfolios and show you guys exactly what I invest into and all that information. Now, the first part is actually my Acorns portfolio, and I use something called a moderately aggressive portfolio. And when I first started out, like I told you guys, I started with around $7.60 back in 2018 of December. Now, the idea is this, guys. So far, I have a portfolio value of around $26,000, 539.89 cents. And the idea is right now I have a total gain of around $3,047.97, and that is around almost a 13% gain on my very low risk portfolio. And by the way, before the pandemic, I think I had around $7,000, but in reality, once the pandemic actually happened, I started investing more and more money because basically I was getting my investments at a discount. And by the way, guys, a little tip is this, guys, okay? Trying to time the market at the right time to make that investment is usually a very bad idea because usually you're not going to know exactly when is the right time because you don't know if the market is going to go up or down because it's all based on human emotion, okay? So in reality, what you want to look for is for very solid investments, and whenever they are going for a discount, lower, you're losing money in a sense, you want to basically buy more at a discount because overall, history shows that every single market downturn has ended up in a recovery. So the point is, history shows you the stocks, ETFs, or bonds are going to recover. So the best thing you can do is just, hey, they're going for a discount. I'm going to go ahead and invest even more money into it. You don't have to time the market. That's not necessary whatsoever. And by the way, guys, if you guys want to use my exact Acorns portfolio, in reality, the name of it is called Moderately Aggressive, which is made out of ETFs, 80%, and 20% bonds. And by the way, that means that, for example, when the stocks go down, the bonds are going to go up, and that way it kind of like levels out and you're not losing so much money. But in the end, when you're losing money, you want to invest more money because basically you're getting it at a discount. Now, the second part of my portfolio is actually two apps, and that is the Cash App and also the Robinhood app. Now, the reason I put them together because in reality, they're already made out of low risk investments, for example, like ETFs and also some bonds. And by the way, the bonds and the ETFs I invest into are the same I use in the Acorns portfolio, but the reason sometimes I actually use Robinhood or the Cash App is basically because I want to make my investments right then and there, and I don't want to wait until Acorns processes it and then basically buys those investments for me. So sometimes I just go in and buy those investments right away without having to wait, okay? But usually I just use the Acorns app, okay? Because it's more simple. Now, when it comes to my Cash App portfolio, I only have around $2,404 invested. And by the way, that $4 is actually when I invested into Apple just to test out the app, and it was actually pretty good. And that's why I kept investing with the app. And right now I have a total gain of around 26.57% or $638.81. So in actuality, the only time I use the Cash App is, for example, whenever I want to invest right away and I don't want to wait until my money gets into, for example, the Acorns app or, for example, the Robinhood app. So I want to invest right then and there. And by the way, my two investments are basically the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF and also Apple. But again, Apple was just a test. I'm not really looking at that company, just to clarify. And now, guys, when it comes to my Robinhood portfolio, I have a total around $13,259.16. And by the way, I have a total gain of around 26.54%, which is around $2,780.57. And by the way, in my Robinhood portfolio, I only really have ETFs and also bonds. The same bonds and ETFs that I have in my Acorns portfolio. And I only really invested into one company, one stock, which I will talk about later on the video. So far, I only really use Robinhood and the Cash App and also the Acorns app just for passive investment, okay? Not for like, okay, let me pick this stock and that stock here. No, it's just usually just for passive investment that I just want to have in there. For example, ETF and also bonds. And by the way, guys, little tip is this, guys. The reason my portfolio is so diversified, for example, into ETFs and also bonds is because basically this is in some way my plan B or, for example, my retirement fund. So by doing this correctly, by the time I really retire, I should have around $3.4 million invested. That should generate enough money for me to actually live off without having to worry about anything. Now, when it actually comes to me actually going out there and picking a specific stock, well, that's all about building wealth. Not really my retirement, but just building wealth right now and right here, okay? And now the last part of my portfolio is actually my SoFi investment app or the SoFi investment platform. And the idea is, since I do use their debit card or their bank, basically like my main bank, I can transfer money ASAP from my debit card to my investment platform just like that in seconds and buy whatever I want to buy right away without having to wait whatsoever. And by the way, the reason I love using the debit card is basically because I can go anywhere worldwide and use this debit card in the ATM without having to pay any ATM fees whatsoever, okay? SoFi pays for it, I don't pay for it, which is pretty cool, and that's the awesome part about using the SoFi Money debit card. Now, when it comes to my SoFi portfolio value, I have a value around $24,163.28. And the idea is that right now I have a total gain of around $6,503.75, but that's a total of around 36%, which is pretty cool. And by the way, I've done this by just investing into one company. And that one company is basically Delta, which is the bulk of all of my investments right here, as you can see. And the idea is, guys, as you can tell, I don't invest into a lot of different companies, for example, like Apple, or Amazon, Shopify, or Zoom, or this. No, what I like to do is I like to look for very, very good companies that are currently at a discount because of everything that's going on right now. And that's the entire idea when it comes to value investing. Your goal is that basically, well, I want to find a very good company that's going for a discount, and that way when I invest, I actually buy into the company at a discount, so I'm already making money, and as time goes on, I'll make even more and more and more money. But I don't invest into good companies that are basically selling for way too much money, because sometimes a company might be very, very good, but they still might be very well overvalued. And you might actually pay a lot more for the company, so you might actually lose a lot of money long term. So you always want to make sure you understand exactly how to go out there and calculate the intrinsic value. And by the way, if you don't know how to do that, there's a book called The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, and that book will teach you everything you need to know about intrinsic value. Calculating the true value of a company is stock, okay? So overall, if you guys were counting, I made a total around $12,971, or 23% overall my entire portfolio, which is still pretty good because right now we are going through a pandemic and we haven't still fully recovered from everything that's going on. So I'll keep you guys up to date as things develop in the future, to make sure to also subscribe to the channel. And by the way, guys, as you guys can tell, the bulk of my money is in a passive investing way, and then the other bulk of my money is into wealth building. I don't try to find 100 stocks. I try to find specific stocks that are actually good companies and also solid companies that are actually undervalued right now. And by the way, guys, a question I get a lot is basically, Tommy, should I wait until the stock market recovers to then basically go ahead and invest more money? The answer is that's kind of like waiting until all the discounts or sales are done to then go back in the store and buy at full price. The answer is no. You always want to go and buy at a discount, and that's the goal. But to understand a discount price, you have to understand the true value of a company. And by the way, guys, remember, okay, I'm 23 years old. I wasn't reading books when I was 11 years old like Warren Buffett, but the idea is that all of the advice that I get, all the knowledge that I have today is because I take it from people that are way older than me, for example, like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, people that have a solid track record. And by the way, I read a ton of books. I'm learning every single day, and the best rules that I follow are the rules of history and of people that actually have a solid track record, okay? So I don't try to predict the market, I don't try to day trade, and I don't try to wait until the market goes down to then invest money. What I do is I do value investing, because basically the people that have had the solid track record in the entire like stock market history is Warren Buffett. So I take his advice and I take it very gladly, because that way I know exactly what's going to happen. And I also take into advice history, because history shows me exactly what might happen in the future, and that way I can make a better decision, okay? So guys, comment down below and let me know, was this video helpful in any way, and did you actually learn something? If you learned anything, is that basically you don't need to buy 100 different stocks, and also you can invest into ETFs and bonds and still make a pretty nice return. And overall, guys, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed this video right here, well, like this video, and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. On top of that, follow me on my second channel called The Tommy Bryson Show. Link down below. It's hilarious. You're going to love it. On top of that, also follow me on Instagram, Tommy Bryson. And on top of that, if you want to know exactly how much money I make from dividends every single month, well, watch this video right here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.